And welcome back to the Purple Fox channel. Here are today's shoutouts. If you'd like a shoutout, just be sure to comment hashtag PurpleFoxchannel and turn on all your notifications, and you could be randomly selected to get a shoutout. So without further ado, let's just get on into this video. So for this video, I decided to redraw some of my old art, but not just any old art, one from a particular sketchbook where I really started to grasp the basics of character design and just my style in general. I wanted to see how it's changed because lately I've been making some big progress in a story that I've been doing, and I just kind of want to go back and see my progress in just I think a year. That's how long it's been since I last completed that sketchbook. So the first thing we did was a purple pen sketch because I am very much in love with purple pen sketching. I remember I was watching a drawing with waffles video and following along, so I just wanted to redraw the one right over here because I just felt like that was the most finished. Overall with this, I felt like the tone quality of my lines with the purple pen could have been better, but here I was just learning how to use purple pen, and I think I accomplished that. But I also used a lot of different purple pens, markers, whatever, to add definition to the clothing and really change up the tone and not just have everything one solid color. And I think I've just really demonstrated my use of making a drawing decent, I guess, and I think I've improved a lot since the last one. The cross hatching was really fun, as well as just general shading with markers, and purple is always a fun color to use. It's my favorite color if you couldn't tell, so yeah, that was fun. And to go along with the previous sketchbook page that I was copying, I decided to use one of my favorite pink highlighters and just put a little border around the character with sparkles because I'm basic. I use the same set of sparkles for everything. I get it. On to the next victim. This was my OC, Casey. She was one of my first OCs. If you don't know who she is, I don't have her anymore, but if you want to know a bit more about her and where she started, you can watch some of my earlier sketchbook tours, the first and second sketchbook tour should have her. When I got that sketchbook I was just showing you, I decided to redesign her since I thought my art skills had evolved so much. They had, but not that much, so it wasn't that big of a difference. I know I had a vision of how I wanted Casey to look like, but my art abilities, at that time, didn't really correspond to that, so I decided to draw her how I would kind of design a character now. So her hair looks a little different, so does her outfit, but I mean the general gist of the character is the same. So instead of a half up, half down with a bun, I made it a half up, half down in general, just with a cute little ponytail. I originally wanted to do a scrunchie, but I didn't feel like it after a while, so I just made it into some form of a bow that I half-heartedly colored. Don't really know if there was a meaning to any of the items I chose as her design, her choker or anything like that, so yeah. I think just out of all the redraws that I did in this video, Casey's was my favorite. I just felt like it showed the most difference from my previous style to my current style, and just there was a big difference in shading and highlights, so I think I've just grown a lot as an artist between those two pictures. Also, it was the most fun. Also the most time consuming, but most fun as well. Also, I'm super sorry for how sped up this footage is. I had almost 2 hours of footage for the first time ever. It was great cutting it all down and speeding it all up. It definitely didn't take 30 minutes. It's fine. So I started off with her skin, and I think this was pretty fun, just shading it, because I never used to do shading in my art until I learned to draw bigger, so I had room to shade, and I also had enough colors to actually shade with. So I mean, I think I've improved. I added blush and shadows, and overall the skin was pretty simple. I forgot to film the part of me doing the hair, but as a reenactment, basically I just put down pink and then put down purple and then found a color and blended it so much. I think my paper was having a hard time. Yeah, it was not great because of that. The blending looks really harsh, but also I guess if you don't look too closely, it doesn't look too bad. Shading was also fun just because, I don't know, I used a really harsh color, like a lot darker than my base layer, and I think it turned out a lot better than I expected, so that was fun. I was also super proud of the eyes just because, I don't know, I just didn't mess it up this time for once. I messed up like both eyes of the drawing, like I have 2 drawings after this, messed up both of those eyes. It was lovely, but this was something I was proud of. Then we move on to the jeans, and the jeans always had these like painted stripes on them for no reason in like red, orange, and yellow colors. This time I was like, I don't want to do that, I just want to do all orange, so I just used tones of orange instead, and honestly I like that better just because complementary colors with the blue, so it stands out more and basically makes the drawing more like coherent in general and looks like it actually, like, I put some thought into it and not just slapped colors everywhere. Again, shading of the pants was also fun because I used harsh colors and it just turned out right. Maybe I should use harsh colors in my shading more often because this little experiment proved to be a success and it was fun, except for the fact that I accidentally went over some of the like orange stripes and now it looks kind of weird, but I think it gives it character, aka me just finding an excuse to say that this drawing does not suck as much as it really does. I almost think I added too much highlights for this illustration, but overall it was fun and I didn't think that any of them really hurt the drawing too much, so I call it a success. I wasn't 100% sure whether to add this illustration, but I decided to do it and I had too much footage. It's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So I saw like a little like chibi version, I guess, of me that I drew when like a year ago. I drew myself in like a chibi style, and lately I've been doing the same thing, but I've like refined my chibi style a bit. This drawing was kind of a mess with the chibi style itself, but I just thought it was fun, so I decided to draw myself, but not with the like same things I was wearing when I drew myself in my sketchbook like a year ago. I decided to draw what I was wearing that day. That probably made no sense, but we're rolling with it. I was drawing what I was wearing while I was filming. Yeah, that. Okay, I hope that worked. Anyways, this was fun just because I never draw myself too often, like I never finish it and color it and add highlights and shading and all that stuff. Usually it's just purple pen sketches in my sketchbook describing how much I hate drawing men because it's hard, or how hard proportions are. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. But drawing myself in a chibi style, like full body, was pretty fun, and I should probably do it more often. I do need to make a little like mini version of me, what's it called, a sprite I think it is, to go on the side of my screen for speed paints. So yeah, I should probably get on doing that. Okay, so since I don't have much to say right now, this was like a pretty straightforward thing. It was the same process I used for all the other illustrations, so I'm just gonna go into what I've really been working on in my story so far. I've been doing a lot of like world building stuff in terms of the like map and culture and architecture and things like that, and then I've also really been developing the characters so far. So I think you guys know like two, you know, 2 of them. If you watched my most recent sketchbook tour, the sketchbook I kept before this one, you should probably see 2 of them, Vinette and Kiri. They're 2 of the 6 main characters in the story that I'm working on. So yeah, if you want to know a little bit about them, I probably should start making videos about my OCs, but they're not fully finished, which is why I'm kind of like hesitant to start. Let me know if you guys want to see me do like a world building session in my sketchbook, or like maybe developing my other characters some more, settings, villains, something like that, because it would like motivate me to work on it because I'd be filming a video on it, and you guys may enjoy that, so let me know if you'd like to see that. I don't normally draw black hair just because it never works out in my favor with markers. I like doing it digitally, but with markers it's really hard. But here I was kind of forced to do that, and I think it worked out pretty well just with me using a gel pen. And I added some sunflowers in the background just because, you know, to match the aesthetic of, I guess, my shirt, and I thought that was pretty fun. And for the final illustration that I did for redrawing old art, it was this just random girl drawing that I had in my sketchbook. The thing I really liked about it though was the cute little flower details on the dress because I never draw patterns. So I wanted to draw it again, but this time with a little bit differently, like how I would draw it normally in my sketchbook today. So I decided to first change her hair color to being from an incredibly orange to just having an orange tint instead. I just found I liked that a lot more. I'm not really sure why. I also put her hair up because, I don't know, I felt like it. It was just fun, and I enjoy drawing curls, if you can't tell. The pose I struggled with a lot here. I simplified it later, but in general it was just the anatomy itself was really whack. I have to say that doing the line art for the hair at least was super fun because I love drawing hair, especially curly hair, and this was just super fun to do. I do want to do a hair tutorial still, but I tried a couple times and tutorials are hard, so I'm working on it. Okay, here is where everything went downhill. The marker I was using, I don't really remember what it was super streaky, so every time I tried to blend out a shading color or blush or something like that, it just made it darker and didn't really blend because of the fact it was so streaky and it had a really light opacity. It was horrible. So the skin turned out looking really uneven in tone, so that was kind of disappointing. Considering how long I spent on the skin, well, that was just really annoying because I tried to make it really pretty with the shadows and really make the shadows defined, but my markers decided not to cooperate for this one. The hair was super fun because all I did was use a normal color, and then I just went really hard over it with a really bright orange color, and I hope it gave an orange tint, and even if it didn't, I didn't really care because I just did not like just a bright orange hair with a blue dress. And to add the flower detail, I decided to use Posca pens instead because gel pens, after a while, they start to fade, and that's what I used last time, so I decided just to use my Posca pens because they wouldn't fade as easily, and I think it was fun. I just added little red dots with green leaves and then pink highlights to most of the flowers just to add some differentiation. After that, I just add some pink circles and sparkles just to make the character pop out a little bit, and I was done with the entire sketchbook spread. I know I'm super repetitive with my sparkles, but honestly, I just had a lot of fun with it, and I love using my bright gel pen now, and I use it for almost every drawing. Here I am just adding some final details with my Posca pen, just to bring the whole spread together. And after that, I was done with the entire sketchbook spread. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and comment, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!